Good morning, everybody. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I count it a great personal privilege and pleasure to be with you on this Lord's Day. I'm excited to come talk to you and share where you are right now. It's a great time in the Lord, and I'm very grateful and appreciative of all of you all joining me this morning and being part of what the Lord is calling for us to do. I want to just talk just for a few minutes. I'm coming on late. I was doing an amazing morning call and just had an amazing time with every facet of conversation, and just getting some protocols and things together, and just trying to help and strengthen and encourage and empower my prototype, and just to give so much redress and address the stuff. Good morning to all of y'all. Amen. Love y'all immensely. Amen. And thank y'all for being part. Let me get started because I got to catch up with my time because I messed you alls up. Yesterday I said to you all, and I left you all with to be what you are and to become we are capable of becoming. We must understand life in its totality. I want to first open by saying to you all that there is a difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing to solve most of our own problems. The difference is the gap between good and great. When I was talking this morning on the phone just a few minutes ago, I should have said, you are moving from good to great. I want to prophesy that to you all that's listening to me. It was meant for them, but I want to also share it with you all because I was writing this down when I was talking and speaking with them, that you are moving to greater. You're good now, but you're about to become greater. There is a legacy that's attached to your life, and you must understand, with that legacy being attached to your life, that there is something greater in store for you, and you got to want to tap into that greater. And watch this here. What closes your actual gaps is really you wanting to grow, stretch, and your willingness. People who only existed good, they live in a land of permissible things, and that's okay. But if you want to be great, you got to go beyond, and you got to see exactly what God is calling you to in extraordinary fashion. By continuing to actually focus on making your next step of growth, hear me, you got to move, like I said yesterday, beyond that comfort zone and stretch into your capabilities to zone into a different sphere. I want to say this to you, and I pray that you write this down this morning. A possibility is a hint from God. Okay? A possibility is a hint from God. One must follow it. Did y'all get that? Please write that down. A possibility is a hint from God, and one must follow it. That possibility path is God has given us an opportunity to make a difference. Can y'all do me a favor? My daughter, Bishop Designate Patricia Mattison's birthday is today. Can y'all go on there and wish her happy birthday? Can y'all say that to her real quick? Amen. Hey, Lady Cassandra Roberts, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you on Friday too. Amen. I'm looking forward to hanging out. I love you. I miss you so very much. I can't wait to see you on this week. Amen. I'm excited. I'm telling you, if I can get up out of here right now, I'll be gone for real. I'm ready to do what God called me to do. Okay, so here it is. Let me give it to y'all again. A possibility is a hint from God. One must follow it. The possibility path that God has given us is the opportunity to make a difference. I hope y'all got that down. You got to stop asking what you are and start asking, what can you become? Did y'all hear me? I pray y'all heard me. Let me say it again. You got to stop asking what we are and start asking, what can we become? Let me give it to you one more time because I know my son getting ready to post this. Amen. Stop asking what we are and start asking, what can we become? I'm saying this is because I want to speak this word into your life, and I pray that you receive my heart as I say it. You are entering into the dispensation of significance. Significance is birthed inside of you. If you are willing to stretch, that seed will grow, and it will bear much fruit in the lives of which it actually is prepared to do. Are y'all hearing me? That's very important to me. People cling to unsatisfactory ways of life rather than to change to get something better because they fear something might actually get worse. I remember my dad said to me, as well as my mother, said to me that life has many intersections and opportunities to go up and down. So at your intersection, hear me, you can make choices. Did you hear me? So you got to add something to your life. You got to sometimes subtract some things from it. Sometimes you got to exchange some things for difficult things that you don't. And too oftentimes people, and I'm guilty of this, people make life more difficult for themselves because they make bad choices at their intersections. Y'all ain't ready for me. Yeah, come on, let's talk about it. Come on, let's deal with the elephant in the room. And hear me, when you make bad choices in the middle of your intersections, hear me, you decline to also make choices, hear me, because you're fearful of what it's going to do. Let me tell you something. You're going to have to make some choices, and it may cost you now, it may cost you later, but hear me, you better make them so you can get over it and deal with what you got to deal with to move on in progression in life. And that's something that I am getting to every single day. It is very important that you may not always get what you want, but we always get what we choose. You might want to write that down. You may not always get what you want, but you sure enough get what you choose. Let me say it to you one more time. You may not always get what you want, but you sure enough gonna get what it is that you choose. And whenever Robbie Peters, whenever I am faced with an opportunity for trade-off, I always ask myself, what are my pluses? What are my minuses of this trade-off? Sunday, I want you to call our church. I want you to get this sermon that I preached for All-Star Weekend, NBA, not National Basketball Association, but New Blessing Associates. That's what I preached. And I said in the sermon, they didn't get it, but I know you will. I said some people and Christians are just like the NBA. NBA, nothing but actors. Did y'all hear me? And you have a lot of people right now that don't know how to trade off. They don't know how to deal with certain things. So I had to always figure out for my life what are my pluses or my minuses. So I say to myself, what's going to benefit me? And hear me, right now there is a spiritual draft going on, and right now you are about to be equipped. You're getting ready to be put into some situations, and you got to know your plus and minuses. Hear me, you're either going to be a restricted or an unrestricted free agent. So either A, you're going to be the starter to carry your team to victory, or you're going to find yourself hitting the bench, or you're too old and you're going to have to retire. You're going to have to make some seasonal changes because you are a free agent to do what God has called for you to do. But what are the pluses and minuses of the choices that you make? Are y'all hearing me? And you got to figure out, not because of fear, but you got to discover the tendencies over your life that have overestimated the value of what you have, and you have underestimated the value of what it is that you have been giving up. So I always ask myself this question, and I pray you do as well. Will I endure this change or grow through this change? Can you write that down, please? Will I endure this change or will I grow through this change? And you got to have positive trade-offs. Hear me. You got to get positive trade-offs so you can see the actual opportunity for the growth and the actual seizing the moment of where you should become. Yes. So when I preach New Blessing Associates, I talk from a very good principle. I gave them the starting five that I will put on my team. And some of you right now, you have a starting five on yours. Today's NBA, you can't even hand check nobody. It's a foul. Back in the day, we put bodies on you. Are you listening? and you paid the price. You came in the paint, you got knocked down. So you may score 2 points, but you're going to feel them 2 points that you tried to do. Today, the 3-point shot has became amazing. Stephen Curry, he would shoot the lights out of a building. He's probably one of the greatest shooters that we have of our time today. You can talk about LeBron all you want to, but LeBron is a catalyst for change. You may not like him because he whines or whatever the case that you may feel, but at the end of the day, the man is making moves and the man is doing what he has to do. And while we're complaining about him, he's going to be making $45 million next year. Are y'all listening to me? We gotta no longer be able, you gotta move from a place and move to a place where your platform is giving you a voice to do what has to be done. One thing I'm learning about my new Blessing Associates is that God has put me in the lives of people to bless people. And you have to understand when you are in the lives of blessing people that you have to be a blessing, not a curse. And sometimes your blessing is for people to identify everything that's wrong with you. I thank God for my critics. I thank God for everybody got something wrong with me. I was told not too long ago, something about me that I just hear, and every week it gets lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And hear me. And I've learned to accept some things. I've learned to say it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. And hey, whatever. And God is saying to me, when we no longer are able to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Did y'all hear me? That's the maturity part of you. And I hear people always express that hope that things will change. I always hear them say, everything must change. Nothing stays the same. That's a song. But hear me. I want to tell you there's a difference between where we are and where we want to be. It is going to be created by the change that we're willing to make in ourselves and our own lives. When we want something that you never had, you must do something that you've never done. So now I'm understanding that otherwise you're going to keep getting the same results if you don't make no change. You make the change. Changes to our lives always begins with the changes that we are willing to make personally. So too often times, hear me, it is not easy. God knows it's not easy, but because to change your life, you gonna have to change. The people around you ain't gonna change. They're gonna continue to be the same way that they are. They're gonna be vain, fickle, ignorant, stupid, crazy, whatever you want to call them. Hear me. You just gotta remember, you the key to the change. You change. You change. And when you change, everything around you will change. Hear me. Change is also a real challenge because, hear me, with change, you don't see immediate rewards. Did y'all hear what I just said? You may want the outcome, but because it may be something that you're unwilling to face or unwilling to endure, the face of uncertainty between the ending and the hope for the new beginning can be far few and in between. So that change sometimes may feel like a loss. Did y'all hear me? So the in-between periods of transition requires our choice to have a positive attitude, have a positive focus, and upcoming beliefs of that very thing that you're going to have to give up in this season. As I get ready to leave y'all today, because it's 15 minutes, I came on late. I'm not going to keep you on here long. It's this: do not fear failure. Do not fear failure that you refuse to try new things. I'll be back to you all tomorrow to talk to you about that. God bless you. Go with God, and knowing God as I do, He will surely go with you. God bless you.